All praise to the Most High, AHAYAH, and to his son, AHAYAH, AHAYAH. This is Brother Holly here with the second Spirit of Truth broadcast here on the AHAYAH House channel, as well as the House of AHAYAH channel on this set apart Sabbath day. First and foremost, as always, like to give all glory, praise, and honor to the great I am, he who is, was, and is to come, the Almighty One, Alleluia, and to his son, Yahayashah, who gave himself for us that we might have life, and that life is in him, AHAYAH. Now, in this second broadcast, we're going to get right into it. We're going to be reading from the book of Jubilees, from Jubilees chapter 2 and from Jubilees chapter 50 on the Sabbath, who the Sabbath is for, who is not for, who is it given to, what is proper behaviors on the Sabbath. And this is to go over it one more time, that the children of Jacob, the seed of Jacob, the holy seed, are the only people on the planet who is in their heart to keep the Sabbath. And the Sabbath is being kept in heaven as well as on the earth, and it shall be kept, according to Isaiah chapter 60, it'll be kept all the way through eternity. Hallelujah. We'll be reading from the AHAYAH King James Version, Bible, Apocrypha, Enoch, Jasher, and Jubilees, KJV, book of scriptures. And if you do not have this reference, I suggest you get it as soon as possible. It is an excellent read. It's a pretty clean read. It's not the cleanest read of all. You'll still find, the word LORD in there in some places where they didn't remove it. But it's a pretty clean read of the Apocrypha, as well as the books of Enoch, Jubilees, and Jasher. Here at the House and House of AHAYAH, we not only accept the standard Apocryphal books as being inspired in Scripture, we also accept the book of Enoch, the book of Jubilees, and the book of Jasher as being inspired and part of the totality of Scripture, along with the books of the Old Testament and New Testament. All praises. And when you have it all, when you have all the references, I believe and teach that you have the full counsel of AHAYAH. And we will continue to teach and preach the full counsel of AHAYAH. We will not shun like the great apostle Saul, in whom we all trust. He said, I have not shunned to declare in you the whole counsel of AHAYAH. All praises. But before we begin, yet another public service announcement. Tonight, beginning at sundown, is the Feast of Trumpets, in accordance with the 364-day Hebraic calendar for this year. So tonight at sundown, Feast of Trumpets, get your shofars ready. We're going to have a special, very short, very brief, but very revelatory special Spirit of Truth broadcast this evening at sundown, or shortly thereafter. We will have yet another telecast. It will be a 3-telecast day. But that telecast will be short. We'll just be blowing the shofar and celebrating the goodness of AHAYAH yet again, for him bringing us yet again through another year. It's been a whole year, children, since the last time we had our Feast of Trumpets celebration here at AHAYAH's house and House of AHAYAH. All praises to AHAYAH for keeping us, for blessing us, for increasing us. All things work together for good for those who are the called according to his purpose. AHAYAH. And I'd also like to thank all our new subscribers. And I'd like to thank those subscribers who continue with us, who've been with us all this time, and who continue with us. One of our subscribers here at AHAYAH's house and House for AHAYAH made mention during this week that he is working now on his own version of the scriptures. I am so excited for him, brother. You're out there. I can't wait for the work to be completed, and I will probably be one of the first in line, if not the first in line, to get a good look at your work, the work that AHAYAH's put on your heart to do, to bring out the scriptures. And there are others out there who are continuously bringing out the word, and they're always working toward a singular goal, that we, the children of Yasha Allah, would have a clean read in these last days. All praises to AHAYAH for his goodness and his mercy toward us. Let's go. Book of Jubilees. Let's start reading in chapter 2. Now, if you have this reference, you will see very quickly in the book of Jubilees, in this particular reference, that there are no verse marks. There's only chapters. So I've tried to painstakingly go through and number the verses so that you could follow along, and I would know where I am and where you would be if you have another copy of the book of Jubilees and another version of the scriptures. So I'm trying to get as close as I could, children. So bear with me if it's not exactly the verse that you have in your book of Jubilees. But let's go. Jubilees chapter 2. Let's start reading at verse 16. Jubilees 2:16. And he gave us a great sign, the Sabbath day, that we should work 6 days, but keep Sabbath on the 7th day from all work. Will you highlight? So he gave us a sign. And it says in the book of Exodus and in the prophets that the Sabbath is a sign between us and AHAYAH, that we are his people and he is our most high power. He is our AHAYAH, our most high power. It is a sign unto us, the children of Yasha'Allah, the children who bear his name. And we said on last week's broadcast that we are the children who bear his name. His name is, his title is AHAYAH, and our name is Yasha'Allah. End of our name is the beginning of his name. And in the teaching, not to be ashamed of the name, I bring this point out. All praises to AHAYAH for his word. I'll read it again. Jubilees chapter 2, verse 16. And he gave us a great sign, the Sabbath day, that we should work 6 days, but keep Sabbath on the 7th day from all work. And all the angels of the presence, and all the angels of sanctification, these two great classes, he hath bidden us to keep the Sabbath with him in heaven and on earth. Next verse. And he said unto us, behold, I will separate unto myself a people from among all the peoples. Highlight. And these shall keep the Sabbath day, and I will sanctify them unto myself as my people. And I will bless them, and I have sanctified the Sabbath day, and do sanctify it unto myself. Even so will I bless them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their power. Will you highlight? Now he about to tell you who these people are. Next verse. And I have chosen the seed of Jacob from amongst all that I have seen, and have written him down as my firstborn son, and have sanctified him unto myself forever and ever, and I will teach them the Sabbath day. Who is AHAYAH going to teach the Sabbath day? The children of Jacob, the seed of Jacob. He's going to teach them the Sabbath day. All praises. That they may keep Sabbath thereon from all work. Will you highlight? Next verse. And thus he created therein a sign in accordance with which they should keep Sabbath with us on the 7th day, to eat and to drink and to bless him who hath created all things, as he blessed and sanctified unto himself a peculiar people above all peoples, and that they should keep Sabbath together with us. These are the us as being the angels of presence and the angels of sanctification. Those great two classes. They're saying that AHAYAH has created a certain people, the seed of Jacob, were created to keep Sabbath with us. They're keeping Sabbath in heaven. We're keeping Sabbath on the earth. And all praises go to AHAYAH, AHAYAH, the I am that I am, who made all things to include the 7th day. And he sanctified the 7th day, making it holy, setting it apart, and then having a set apart and holy people to keep it. Oh, praises. It's in our hearts to keep the Sabbath. As I mentioned in the first broadcast, children, I had to get a religious accommodation to be here before you this day. For this is the last day of the fiscal year. And as some of you know, the government's on the verge of being shut down. And today is the last day of the fiscal year. And I work in government finance down here in Central Florida. And my employer, the federal government, is at work today trying to balance the books for the last fiscal year that just ended today. And to prepare the books for the new fiscal year that begins tomorrow. They called me. They told me a couple of weeks ago that I was going to have to work today. And I put in for religious accommodation. Because I put in my package that today is the seventh day, the Sabbath, and I am to keep that. And opposed to, I'm to obey AHAYAH's commands and not theirs. And I use this ministry, my outreach and my ministry to you as evidence of my deeply held religious beliefs. I said, you can go to AHAYAH's house channel. You can go to the House of AHAYAH channel, and you can see me on there. 500 hours nearly 500 hours of teaching and preaching about the Hebraic faith, about the one true faith. It's not that I'm a part of it. No, I'm doing it. I'm actually factually doing it. And they granted my accommodation. So I'm here with you, keeping Sabbath day holy, as we're all commanded to do. As it says in Book of Jubilees, we're the only people on the earth that's commanded to do it. Those heathens I work with can go to work today. I can't be with them today. I have to be here, keeping the Sabbath day holy with you. I have to be here, preparing for the Feast of Trumpets with you. I have to be here, opening the word of life, preaching and teaching it to you today. For this is what we do on the Holy Convocation. This is what we do on the set apart day. Oh, praises. And we're going to read later on in Jubilees chapter 50, activities you can't do on the Sabbath. And the penalty for doing them. We'll read it again. This is Jubilees around verse 21, chapter 2, verse 21. And thus he created therein a sign in accordance with which they should keep Sabbath with us on the seventh day, to eat and to drink and to bless him who has created all things, as he has blessed and sanctified unto himself a peculiar people above all peoples, and that they should keep Sabbath together with us. And he caused his commands to ascend as a sweet savor, acceptable before him all the days. And there were 22 heads of mankind from Adam to Jacob, and 22 kinds of work wherein were made until the seventh day. This is blessed and holy. And the former also is blessed and holy. And this one serves with the one for sanctification and blessing. And to this Jacob and his seed it was granted that they should always be blessed and holy ones of the first testimony and law, even as he hath sanctified and blessed the seventh day, the Sabbath day on the seventh day. He created heaven and earth and everything that he created in 6 days. And power made the seventh day holy for all his works. Therefore he commanded on its behalf that whosoever does any work thereon should die, and that he who defiles it shall surely die. Wherefore do thou command the children of Yasharallah to observe this day, that they may keep it holy, and do not thereon any work, and do not defile it, as it is holier than all other days. Next verse. And whosoever profanes it shall surely die, and whosoever does thereon any work shall surely die eternally. Will you highlight that? If you work on the Sabbath, if I was sitting in the office with those heathens that I work with today, as they wanted me to be. And make no mistake about it, children, even if I wasn't given my religious accommodation, I would still be here right now with you. Oh, I wouldn't be able to go back in there, but I'd still be here with you. And I brought out in the first broadcast why that is possible. Why that wouldn't have made a hill of beans difference to me. If I lose my job, if I keep it, it makes a hill of bean difference to me. What makes a difference to me is if and when am I obedient to AHAYAH and his commands. And if and when I'm obedient to the commands and dictates of his son, AHAYAH, the Messiah. And if and when I'm obedient to the voice of the Spirit, the Wadashawa Ruach, that flows out from AHAYAH to all his people. All praises. That's what's important to me. That's what's a life. And it's life or death, child, if you keep the Sabbath. Let's read it again. It says, wherefore do thou command the children of Yasharallah to observe this day, that they may keep it holy, and not do thereon any work, and not to defile it, as it is holier than all other days. And whosoever profanes it shall surely die. And whosoever does thereon any work shall surely die eternally. That the children of Yasharallah may observe this day throughout their generations, and not be rooted out of the land, for it is a holy day and a blessed day. And everyone who observes it and keeps Sabbath thereon from all his work will be holy and blessed throughout all the days like unto us. Declare and say to the children of Yasharallah the law of this day, both that they should keep Sabbath thereon, and that they should not forsake it in the error of their hearts, and that it is not lawful to do any work thereon, which is unseemly, to do thereon their own pleasure, and that they should not prepare thereon anything to be eaten or drunk, and that it is not lawful to draw water, or to bring in or take out thereon through their gates any burden, which they had not prepared for themselves on the sixth day in their dwellings with Yahweh. It lists a whole plethora of things you ain't supposed to take no bird in and out of your house. If there's a livery at your house on the Sabbath day because of some heathen from the U.S. Postal Service put something you've ordered on your doorstep, leave it out there to sundown on the Sabbath. Don't bring that burden in your house. Don't go out there and get that package. Don't you take the trash out. Don't be making Kool-Aid. If you didn't make your Kool-Aid on Friday before sundown, don't you drink Kool-Aid that day. Drink water. Or drink some juice you made before. And don't be preparing meals. Prepare your meals on Friday. What you're going to eat on the Sabbath, prepare it on Friday before sundown. Prepare it on the preparation day. That's what it's for, the preparation day. And eat and drink that which you have prepared previously, that you may keep the Sabbath day holy. All praises. Next verse. And they shall not bring in nor take out from house to house on that day, for that day is more holy and blessed than any Jubilee day of the Jubilees. On this we kept Sabbath in the heavens before it was made known to any flesh to keep Sabbath thereon on the earth with Yahweh. The angels of AHAYAH have been keeping Sabbath before it was made known to the seed of Jacob to keep it on the earth. All praises. And next verse. And the creator of all things blessed it, but he did not sanctify all peoples and nations to keep Sabbath thereon. Underline this, please. And please show this to the Cleveland heathen. Please show this to the wannabes, to the liars who say they are Jews and are not but do lie. You know who they are. The Make-A-Wish Foundation, the ones in the land of Canaan right now. The wall worshippers. Please show this to them. Let's read the verse again. And the creator of all things blessed it, but he did not sanctify all peoples and nations to keep Sabbath thereon. But Yasharallah alone, them alone, he permitted to eat and to drink and to keep Sabbath thereon on the earth with Yahweh. Told you, we're the only people on the planet that were given the Sabbath to keep. We're the only people on the planet. It's a sign that we're the children of AHAYAH, and he's our most high power. We're the only ones this applies to. I'll read it again. And the creator of all things blessed it, but he did not sanctify all peoples and all nations to keep Sabbath thereon. But Yashar'Allah alone, them alone he permitted to eat and to drink and to keep Sabbath thereon on the earth. And the creator of all things blessed this day, which he had created for blessing and holiness and glory above all days. This law and testimony was given to the children of Yashar'Allah as a law forever unto their generations, where you highlight. Now, turn over to Jubilees chapter 50. All praises. Let's start reading in Jubilees chapter 50, verse 3. And behold, the commandment regarding the Sabbath, I have written them down for thee, and all the judgments of its laws. 6 days shalt thou labor, but on the seventh day is the Sabbath of AHAYAH, your power. In it ye shall do no manner of work, ye and your sons and your men servants and your maid servants and all your cattle and the sojourner also who is with you, and the man that doth any work on it shall die. Whoso desecrates that day, whosoever lies with his wife, or whosoever says he will do something on it, that he will set out on a journey thereon in regards to any buying or selling. Now you've heard it taught on a lot of people's channels. You've heard it taught in the streets of this country and around the world that there ain't no buying and selling on Sabbath. It's right here in Jubilees, and it's in the book of Nehemiah. There's no buying or selling on the Sabbath. It says you shouldn't even be lying with your wife on the Sabbath. You shouldn't take the Sabbath day for a day for marital affairs. You should give it a rest for one day. Give it a rest for one day. We'll start reading that again. Verse 4, Jubilees 50 and 4. And the man that does any work on it shall die. Whosoever desecrates that day, whosoever lies with his wife, or whosoever says he will do something on it, that he will set out on a journey thereon, in regards to any buying or selling. And whoso draws water thereon, which he have not prepared for himself on the 6th day, and whoever takes up any burden to carry it out of his tent or out of his house shall die. You shall do no work whatever on the Sabbath day, save that which you prepared for yourselves on the 6th day, so as to eat and to drink and rest, and keep Sabbath from all work on that day, and bless AHAYAH your power, who has given you a day of festival, and a holy day, and a day of the holy kingdom for all Yashar'Allah. This is this day among their days forever, will you highlight. It says that the Sabbath is the day of the kingdom for all Yashar'Allah. All praises for all the seed of Jacob. We read earlier in the book of Jubilees, that's for all the seed. It was only given to the seed of Jacob. It wasn't given to nobody else to keep Sabbath. And these laws concerning Sabbath are for you and for me, child of Jacob. Let's continue to read. Jubilees chapter 50, verse 7. For great is the honor which AHAYAH has given to Yashar'Allah, that they should eat and drink and be satisfied on this festival day, and rest thereon from all labor which belongs to the labor of the children of men, save burning frankincense and bringing oblations and sacrifices before AHAYAH for days and for Sabbaths. This work alone shall be done on the Sabbath days in the sanctuary of AHAYAH your power, that they may atone for Yashar'Allah with sacrifice continually from day to day for a memorial well-pleasing before AHAYAH, and that he might receive them always from day to day according to thou hast been commanded. Now, we know that the commandment to continue burnt offerings and sacrifices, we know that ceased when Messiah died. We know when Messiah was crucified, when he was hung on a tree, he was the one sacrifice for sin forever. End of all sacrifice. The first 8 chapters of Leviticus, which cover the law of sacrifices and the law of oblations, the law of sin offering, transgress offering, the law of the offering of the sin of ignorance, all those laws, all those sacrifices were done away in the one sacrifice for sin forever. All praises. Next verse, and every man who doth any work thereon, or goes on a journey, or tills his farm, whether in his house or in any other place, and whosoever lights a fire, or rides on any beast, or travels by ship on the sea, or whosoever strikes and kills anything, you can't even kill a fly, or slaughters a beast or a bird, or whoever catches an animal, or a bird, or a fish, or whosoever fasts, or makes war on the Sabbaths. The man who does any of these things on the Sabbath shall die, so that the children of Yasharahla shall observe the Sabbaths according to the commandments regarding the Sabbaths of the land, as it is written in the tablets, which he gave unto my hands, that I should write out for thee laws of the seasons, and the seasons according to the division of their days, wherewith is completed the account of the division of days. Will you highlight? Says you can't even catch a fish on the Sabbath. For a long time, Brother Holly, for a long time, I would fish on the Sabbath. I wouldn't work. I wouldn't buy ice or bait or anything, or gas or anything. I wouldn't buy or sell anything. But I would fish on the Sabbath, because I was aware of the scriptures in the epistles of Saul, where it says, where there's no law, there's no transgression. See, you won't find what I just read from Jubilees chapter 50 in Torah about you can't go catch a fish, you can't kill a bird or an animal, none of that. You won't find it written in Genesis. You won't find it written in Exodus or Deuteronomy or Leviticus, Numbers. You won't find it written in the prophets. You won't find it in the Gospels. You won't find it in the epistles. You won't find it anywhere. At least I haven't found it. If you know where it is, put it down in the comment section where it is. Any place where it says, what we just read in Jubilees chapter 50, it says that somewhere else. Put it in the comment section. But it wasn't, but to be completely transparent with your children, I would feel a certain kind of way. It's not like I knew it was wrong, but it just didn't feel right. I know I should have fled all appearance of evil. If it doesn't feel right, just don't do it. But I was so glad when I finally got my hand on a copy of the Book of Jubilees and I read that. I was like, whew, now I got law. Now I got chapter and verse why I shouldn't be fishing. And I ain't went fishing on the Sabbath day since. I don't care how pretty it is. I live one city block from the ocean. I can just walk out my door, walk around the gate, and down to the water I go. I'll be there in 5 minutes. I could be there in 5 minutes. Casting in 7 if I set everything up. But I won't do it on the Sabbath day. Why? Because it says right here, I can't catch a fish. Let's read it again. It says in Jubilees chapter 50, verse 9, and every man that doth any work thereon, or goes on a journey, or tills his farm, whether in his house or any other place, and whosoever lights a fire, or rides on any beast, or travels by ship on the sea, and whosoever strikes or kills anything, or slaughters a beast or a bird, or whosoever catches an animal or a bird, or a fish, or whosoever fasts, or makes war on the Sabbaths, the man who does any of these things on the Sabbath shall die, so that the children of Yasharahla shall observe the Sabbaths according to the commandments regarding the Sabbaths of the land, as it is written in the tablets, which he gave unto my hands, that I should write out for thee the laws of the seasons, and the seasons according to the division of their days. All praises. Now that I know, I won't do it. Now I asked AHAYAH for forgiveness for all those times I sinned in ignorance. I didn't know it was wrong. I didn't know it was against his word. But when I found out, I stopped. That's a good teaching for you. You ain't heard nothing else I said today. Hear that. Once you find out what you're doing is wrong, stop it immediately. Never go back. That's what repentance means, child. To turn around and go the other way. Never to look back. I ain't even tempted no more to fish. I don't care. Like I told you, I don't care what the fishing reports are. I don't care if they're saying the fish just roll, just turn themselves in, catching themselves, just lying on the beach, flopping, waiting for you to pick them up. I ain't going out there to collect them fish on the Sabbath day. A man got killed in Torah for picking up sticks on the Sabbath. I definitely ain't picking up no fish. I ain't picking up nothing on Sabbath. A man lost his life for picking up sticks on the Sabbath day. What do you think will happen to you picking up fish? Going hunting, going shopping. I talked about a couple of weeks ago, two separate instances. At the Tops grocery store in Buffalo, New York, and at the Family Dollar in Jacksonville, Florida. Two separate instances. Afro-Hebrews were killed shopping on the Sabbath. Look it up. Both instances were on the seventh-day Sabbath. Both instances, Afro-Hebrews in this country were gunned down by people of the other nations. Most High put the gun in the heathen's hand to murder you for breaking his word. This is in your heart to keep, child. It wasn't that heathen hard to keep it. It's for you, Hebrew child. It's for you, child of Jacob. It's for you, Afro-Hebrew. It's for you, person that look like me. It's for you. These things are written in our heart, as well as in these books that we have. These things are for us to keep alone. Alone, child. Don't be bringing the heathen with you. It's for us to keep alone throughout our generations. What a wonderful privilege AHAYAH has given us. He chose us all people he could have chose. He chose us to bless us, to make us peculiar, to make us his covenant people, to pour out his love, his provision, his blessing upon us. We're the most fortunate people on the earth. We get to sit down a whole day, every week. Let the heathen work. Let them knock themselves out. They probably have to. AHAYAH's out here, but we won't feel what man do to us. Oh, praises. So, enjoy your Sabbath. Enjoy every Sabbath that you're blessed to live. And bless and give glory to AHAYAH, our Most High Power, for the blessing he has bestowed upon you. All praise to the Most High AHAYAH and to his son, Yahayash, Halal Hayah.